own policy. Not to name the Opposition Kemi Badenoch.
Well, can I thank the Deputy Prime Minister for advance sight of his statement? And he is right, Mr. Speaker, when he says everyone in this House owes a debt to the Prime Minister, but it is most certainly not a debt of gratitude. It's the other type of debt that we owe. So the Right Honourable Gentleman has come to the House to update us on a meeting he did not attend. He stood in for the Prime Minister at PMQs during the G7. Now he is standing in again to tell us what happened at the G7. Where is the Prime Minister? Where is the Prime Minister? He says he needs to stay in post for 3 months, but then doesn't come to Parliament to do his job. He wants to go on a farewell tour, while the new member for Makerfield is asking for a summer holiday to work out what he thinks. In the meantime, no one is in charge and Britain is not being governed. The Prime Minister gave assurances at the G7 about military support to Ukraine. He gave those assurances after the Defence Secretary resigned because he was being forced to make decisions that would increase the risk to our armed forces. The Prime Minister gave assurances about sanctions on Russian oil and gas, while here the government was lifting those sanctions. He is saying one thing abroad, Mr. Speaker, but doing the opposite at home. And these are just some of the many reasons he had to resign this morning, but apparently for some mysterious reason he must stick around until September. Given the Prime Minister has resigned, why is he hanging around? The Deputy Prime Minister had to change his statement so that we all knew that the EU Reset Summit has been postponed. That's not happening anymore. So what's he hanging around for? Why are we sending a non-Prime Minister to the most important NATO summit in a generation? Why? It is because this psychodrama is about the Labour Party, not the country. Labour are still trying to tell us that everything is fine. That's what the Deputy Prime Minister was saying. Everything is fine. He's given us a statement telling us about a G7 summit he did not go to. The few Labour MPs who bothered to turn up were nodding along, pretending to be listening intently, but in a few minutes they will all scurry back to their offices and focus on their real priority, lobbying for jobs in the next government. So can I take the opportunity to congratulate the Right Honourable Member for Makerfield on his election, Mr. Speaker, but can I just point out that the new member for Aberdeen South is here. He is here. The member for Makerfield is not here because he is more interested in his leadership bid than Britain's national security. 2 weeks ago, the Defence Secretary and Armed Forces Minister as well quit the government because Labour's failure to fund defence is putting our national security at risk. This will not disappear from the member for Makerfield's in trade just because he won a by-election. If he becomes Prime Minister, he will be briefed by the heads of our military about Britain's reducing ability to defend herself, let alone Ukraine, as the Deputy Prime Minister said. In order to fund defence, we need more money, not more speeches at summits. He will find that Britain is not able to borrow any more money. He will find that it has all been spent on welfare. He will realise that this government is providing export finance to rebuild Ukraine's energy system while crippling our own, reducing sanctions on Russian oil while sanctioning oil from Aberdeen. Only one thing matters at the G7 and NATO summits, Mr. Speaker, and that is our collective national security. Sorry, the Minister is chuntering. Can he say anything about why the Defence Secretary resigned? If they're all living in la-la land, I'm going to wake them up. I'm going to wake them up to stop pretending that everything is fine, because it is not. Let me remind him, Mr. Speaker, that the Prime Minister is resigning because he failed on national security. He appointed a known security risk as our ambassador to Washington. He is destroying our energy security, which is national security, and he is refusing to fund the defence investment plan needed to keep our country safe. The G7 summit reminds us, Mr. Speaker, that we are living in serious times, yet the government is paralysed and our country is in limbo. It is time for Labour to start putting country before party and to put Britain's national interest first.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, this is the first occasion I've been opposite the Leader of the Opposition, and can I thank her we're actually friends behind all of this, but can I thank her for her generosity and constructive suggestions on this occasion. It's always good to know that I can count on her support. But can I remind the House that this is the same leader of the opposition who previously suggested that we should empty chair the G20, that we should not bother turning up at the NATO summit, and she wanted to jump into war with Iran without thinking through the consequences. I'm proud to serve a Prime Minister whose hard work has made this country stronger and much fairer than the Britain we inherited from the party opposite. She knows that the Prime Minister has rebuilt Britain's international alliances. She can't deny the 5 major trade deals that we struck under our watch that she failed to do. She knows that we've led the coalition of the willing to back Ukraine. We've renewed our partnership with Europe. We're delivering the biggest boost to defence spending since the Cold War. I'm proud of all of that. Now, she asks about defence. The work continues to finalise the defence investment plan. We're already investing $270 billion over this Parliament. The defence investment plan will deliver another unprecedented increase in defence spending. And when it's published shortly, we will set out every government department is contributing to defence. She talks about oil and gas. Oil and gas will be part of our energy mix for many years to come, delivering enough clean energy products to power 23 million homes, led by Great British Energy, headquartered in Aberdeen, of course. Headquartered in Aberdeen. The PM secured £9 billion worth of Japanese investment in offshore wind last weekend. And, of course, the Leader of the Opposition would rip that all up. She talks about Russian oil. The party opposite is wrong about Russian oil. All sanctions on Russian oil remains in place. We're imposing new sanctions that's ever existed under the party opposite. I look forward to another opportunity to sit across from the Leader of the Opposition in the months ahead.